Hey guys, it's Zach with Android Police. I've had the awesome opportunity to use the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra as my main phone for a little while, and I'm here to give you my thoughts on what that's been like. So what are the first two things that pop into your head when you read or hear the name Galaxy Note 20 Ultra? My guess for you would be 1, that camera bump, and 2, that price tag. Yes, that camera bump is large, I'll get into that in a little bit, and yes, that price tag, it's up there. $1,300 is no easy pill to swallow, and I gotta say, it kind of makes the phone harder to recommend than usual. Now, the Note 20 Ultra is the biggest upgrade in the Note line that we've seen in a while, and aside from this impressive list of high-end specs, this year's Note has made some other significant jumps from last year's Note 10 Plus. Things like a high refresh rate display, improved S Pen experience, improved cameras, 5G support, and more. And it all comes together to make what is arguably, the best smartphone money can buy. When it comes to performance, in my experience, I've had nothing to really complain about. Now, I do have the Snapdragon variant, so I can only speak on that, but performance is what I expected. It's fast, powerful, smooth, it's straight butter. It's been great. It's equipped with just about everything a true power user could want under the hood. And I say just about because, unfortunately, we're still not able to max out the display resolution and use 120Hz at the same time. With a display this big on a phone this pricey, you're gonna wanna use it at its full potential. 1080p is noticeable, I'll admit, but for me, it hasn't been a deal breaker because I just love that high refresh rate. But that's just me. Battery life has been really solid. Of course, everyone's use is going to be different and results will vary, but while 6.5 hours of screen on time is great, it's above average, I was kind of expecting over 7. I do wish there was a larger 5,000 mAh battery. It's not a huge deal, it's not a complaint at all, just something I thought I would mention. Either way, it's been reliable. During heavy use situations where everything's turned on and in use like GPS, 5G, Bluetooth, the brightness is maxed, Google Maps is in use, we're taking pictures, playing music, sending messages, and all that good stuff, I was able to get around 5.5 hours of screen on time, which again is very good and reliable. Other things like call quality proved to be good as well, no complaints there. Same with the biometrics, the in-display fingerprint scanner, that's treated me well. The phone crushes multitasking and gaming. Stadia Gaming and or Xbox Game Pass Ultimate are going to be great on here. The same thing goes for emulation, which is something that I love doing. Overall performance gets a huge thumbs up from me. Now, it goes without saying that this is a big phone. This display is dang near 7 inches, so the phone will be a two-hander for a lot of people. And it doesn't help that the phone is more slippery than a wet bar of soap riding a banana peel down a frozen water slide.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Okay, that's probably the weirdest thing I've ever said. Don't worry, I'll never say it again, but you get my point. Shout out to this video sponsor D-Brand. Their skins and cases do help out a lot with that. The cases especially will help with that camera bump, that's for sure. Check them out, link below. And also, as beautiful as this curved display is, really it is gorgeous. It's still a curved one. Using a big phone that's already not the easiest thing to hang on to with a display with curves is no simple task, I'll tell you that. Accidental input is still a thing. So yes, I do wish that the screen was flat or at least shaped like the S20 Plus's panel. Now, as for the S Pen placement, I actually don't mind this, as odd as it is, because it's always been on the other side. I got used to this pretty quickly. I do like how the power button is back on the right-hand side, but I do wish that they left the volume rocker over on the left. Oh well. The stereo speakers are solid, they're nothing to really write home about, in fact they're not the best that I've heard, but they do sound good, they get plenty loud, and you can tweak some settings along with the Dolby Atmos support, which helps a good amount. The haptics, while unfortunately not as good as the Note 10 Pluses, these are still good and provide nice feedback. It was a letdown at first, like right out of the box, but I'm spoiled. Don't worry, these are fine. On the software side of things, I'm sure most of us are familiar with the fact that there's no shortage of what you can do here with Samsung's One UI. So I know you know that it would take me quite a while to go through each and every feature because there's just so much stuff in here. Feature after feature, setting after setting, it's endless. Of course, we've got all of the cool things that we're used to seeing on a Samsung device, but we also have some nice additions. Samsung Notes, for one, got some nice updates. The Microsoft integration is stronger than ever, perfect for the business-oriented users. And this ties in directly with something that I think is an underrated feature, and that's DeX. So with this year's Note, you can actually use DeX wirelessly with a compatible display, and it just so happens that I have a compatible TV, so I was able to test this out, and yeah, this is legit. The setup was as seamless as it can get. I hit the DeX button in the quick settings, it detected my TV instantly, and within seconds, I had the DeX interface on my screen ready to use. Of course, you're still able to use your phone normally, but you can quickly switch to the trackpad mode to control what's going on the big screen. It works, and it works well. Now, if you don't have a compatible TV, you can use DeX by simply using an HDMI cable with any other TV or monitor, or you could use it on your PC, so you've got options. But this just takes the versatility to a whole new level, and this definitely had me more interested in using DeX. It's good stuff. Moving on to the cameras, this is another area where you'll see significant improvements over the previous Note, and even from the S20 Ultra. At the same time though, you will still see shots, especially selfies, come out looking pretty, as I like to say, Samsungized. And Samsung still has some ways to go when it comes to color. Either way, the sharpness is there, there's good detail, good dynamic range, low light shots are improved, same with autofocus, that got better, so on and so forth. This is easily one of the best camera experiences you'll come across because of these improvements, and it is without question the most versatile experience from top to bottom. From the different lenses up to 50x zoom, all the different shooting modes, to the added functionality in video capture. You can record in 8K at 24 frames per second, which by the way is cool and all, but I don't recommend shooting in 8K primarily. There's multiple microphone support in the Pro video mode, which I think is awesome. There's just no shortage of what you can get with these cameras, and overall, pictures come out looking great. Same with video, these cameras are real good. Then, of course, we gotta talk about the S Pen. You know what I like to say, this is what makes the Note the Note. But I have to admit, with each passing year, with each new Note, I tend to use the S Pen less and less. But that's just because of how I use a phone, and it does not take away from how cool this little stylus is, and it does not make me love it any less. I still find it useful for signing documents. I still find it useful for doodling and coloring every once in a while. And I find it useful for quickly capturing GIFs and screenshots I want to write on. Things like that, things I miss being able to do on other phones. Now, I never really found a use for the air gestures, as neat as they are, especially these new ones. They're kind of like party tricks and conversation starters. I'm sure there are people that'll really get a kick out of what they can do. I like them, they're just not for me in my everyday use. But the biggest improvement for the S Pen, I think, is in the actual writing experience. It's more realistic than it's ever been, with a drop in latency down to 9 milliseconds from 42 milliseconds. That's a really big jump, and you can feel it and you can see it. There's also improved handwriting recognition, which supports pretty much every language, by the way. It's improvements like these that have made writing with this and just using it in general more natural and more enjoyable. I love it. If you're a diehard Note user, this isn't something you absolutely have to upgrade to, but it's still something we consider to be a significant upgrade over the likes of the Note 9 and even the Note 10 Plus. All in all, the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra is a very, very good phone. It's a monster both on paper and in real world use. It has so much to offer from both the hardware and software side of things. And whether it's worth $1,300, that's up to you. It's got basically everything, and the 5G support is there as it contributes to the cost, even though we still don't think it's worth the asking price. But this is the best Note yet, as it should be, and it's without question, at least in my eyes, the best all-around phone you can get right now. I know if I'm spending $1,300 on a phone, this would be it. It's not a perfect phone by any means, but I can say it's not too far from it. So what do you guys think of the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra? Go ahead and drop a comment down below. We'd love to hear your feedback. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to drop a like. Also subscribe to the Android Police channel and turn on notifications if you're new. It's been Zach. I will talk to you guys later, and thank you so much for watching.